Railroad Preserver 2000 here, back again doing another video here. And in this video, after 7 long years of waiting, I am now back in Roanoke, Virginia. And as you can see, I'm not the only thing that's returned. Passenger service is back! Albeit not in as grand of a form as when the N&W ran it. But you know what's funny? N&W got the last laugh on Amtrak. Since Amtrak didn't want to utilize Roanoke or the N&W's passenger trains, they ran their last train, the Pocahontas, with steam. Nickel Plate Road 759 did the honors. So Amtrak, take that. Take that! So this must have been built in the last 7 years since I was here, but I'm surprised. Like, what train does Amtrak have now serving Roanoke? Because I'm actually very curious now. Because I can tell you where the old passenger station is, and that's down there. And that is the old Winston Link Museum, and ahead of it, now dormant, is the N&W's former shops. That's where they maintained their engines, and that's where they built them until about 1953 to 55. Which is a shame, but the shops are now closed from what I heard. So that's honestly a shame, but there's not more you can really do. But yeah, this must have been built recently. Very recently, in fact. So I'm actually curious, what trains do they have running here? I doubt it's any that would have carried on the N&W's named trains, but that's actually interesting. It's like, basically after 50 years, passenger service is back in Roanoke. Yeah, because they ran their last, because the Norfolk and Western ran their last trains in 1971 because Amtrak wouldn't take their routes, but apparently now they decided to change their mind. Which is like, and for me, I'm saying go figure. It took them long enough. And if you're curious, yes, I'm going to look at the Transportation Museum and the museum dedicated to Link's work tomorrow. I don't even have film from when I was at the museum. And that old locomotive that was rescued from Virginia Scrap Iron and Metal is still in the same location. It hasn't been moved. So I'm going to be trying to look at that. And there's the bridge right here. But I'm honestly surprised. I did not expect Amtrak, and then I look on the way into town and there's a sign. So after 50 years, Amtrak finally decides to change their mind. Of course, my question is, what train is now utilizing Roanoke? Because as far as last I heard, no passenger trains called Roanoke anymore. Oh well. Must be a good sized one if they got a platform about as long as I'm seeing. I'm glad they utilized the bridge pier. But yeah, there's the bridge. Transport Museum is ahead. Oh, and there's birds on the line apparently. Yeah, this must be a very, very long train, whichever comes in here. Because this is a good sized platform. And I know it was built recently because this track right here was built recently. I remember there used to be just 3 tracks coming through here, and now it's gone back up to 4. 4 to 5 or however many they had when I was here 7 years ago. They had a lot of throat tracks that ran into the old station. Those have been gone, I believe, since I think the late 90s. Early to late 90s, whenever they decided to end the steam program, I believe is when they took those up. But Yeah, this is a major surprise for me. And it's actually in a decent spot too, because you've got a parking deck to where if you wanted to park your car, you can. There's I'm sure there's a few hotels right here in town. And you can literally park your car and walk over to the platform. Which is actually really good. This is a nice surprise. But I do see that they had to actually remove a lot of the walkway that they had here. Oh no, they didn't remove it. They just moved it forward a bit. That makes sense. I need to see. I can't remember if those are actual locomotive drivers or if those are just maybe casts that they made. Because when I was here years ago, I thought those were actually steel. I now want to see if they're actually just fakes. Let's see. Yeah, I'm gonna walk on the bridge, y'all. Just give me a minute. I need a minute to just soak everything in, because the city has changed a lot in 7 years since I was here. There was a lot of homeless activity here. I see that's been either moved or relocated one. I don't believe that was there. That looks new. Nope. Hot damn, these are actual driver tires. So those must have been either in storage in the shops, or they must have been cast specifically for this. I can tell you the rail looks new, but yeah. Yeah, but this is the bridge, Martin Luther King Memorial Bridge. Yeah, and it was raised in the 90s. Yeah. But yeah. Oh yeah, so this is an updated one. I'll be... Yeah, so they built this about 2 to 3 years ago. That's remarkable. So they got their passenger service back. The question is, what trains are serving it? I would imagine they're probably the ones that Amtrak already has. I don't think they'd make a new train that would call homage to the original, which I wouldn't be all that surprised about. Amtrak doesn't want to bother with new trains, and every time they've tried it, it's like the dang thing fails. Oh. Sorry about that. Didn't know they were turning in or not. Yeah, but I'm glad the bridge has been kept. It's funny, I remember in the video, the horrible recording I did is still up on my channel, so all you guys got to do is look at my playlist regarding the rail videos and you'll remember. Probably like, God. You can probably remember me running down from wherever the signal display was, under this bridge, down this sidewalk, and then straight up to the very top of the bridge. I was running with my Sony camera in hand, shaking like crazy to the point where you'd probably vomit if you looked at the footage too much. And I actually beat the train. I remember the train had Union Pacific run-through power on the head end. And a container train passed underneath. Watch this. Hello! But yeah, this time there's no train for me to run after, and even if there was one, I wouldn't run like I did then. I could care less about running for it. I wouldn't have the energy to. And yeah, since that was 7 years ago, that was around 2013 or 14. I remember, I think I was standing, I believe I believe it was right here. The train was coming in on this track, passed under me, went that way out of town, and then a container train came in on the far left track, and I filmed him going out of town too. Of course, the shops were still in use then. I don't know what the city plans on doing with them, but knowing my luck, they'll probably get rid of them. And there you go, Jesse. Got an airplane coming inbound. Either inbound or out, I'm not sure. So, 1, 2, 3. First decent plane photo I've gotten in a while. But yeah, the Transportation Museum is down that way. That's where 1218 and a few other NW engines are. 484-611 is not here in Roanoke this time. It's up and running in Strasburg. Because I was there, I think, a year or two. Yeah, I think I was there about a year or two after it was restored. Because it was there when I went to the museum, and then I saw it again in Spencer when it was being rebuilt. But that's amazing, seeing that they've got Amtrak service here again. Well, not again, but they've got passenger service in general back. I didn't think that would happen. But, yeah. It's interesting with the dust. But, yeah, I'm going to wrap the video up here, and I'll see y'all later. And here's what I was coming here for. Got an NS freight coming in. Looks to have 2 units. I don't know if they're SD70 Aces, so you guys please don't start botching me for it, because I honestly don't know. But like I said, this time I don't have to run for a train now. Trains are coming to me. Oh. Is that another one over there? That looks like there's another one over there. Hot damn, yes it is. We might have a running meet. History is repeating itself, and as I said to a couple who were up here this evening, sometimes history repeats itself and you'll come back wiser and better, or you'll come back worse and more foolish. This is the former, not the latter. So he looks to be a grain train of some kind. This time I'm taking my camera stuck off. We've got one waiting and we got one coming. We've got one with an orange over red. Hey, there's a train coming. I'm sure he can probably see me. And history has officially repeated itself. Except this time I'm not out of breath and my camera isn't shaking like a nightmare. This time I'm doing it right. I'm gonna make sure to do it right. This is to make up for the embarrassment that was the insanity in Roanoke 7 years prior. I'm gonna let my camera sit here and I'll just let the train pass. Just trying to find a good zoom, more or less. Should have brought my tripod, but you know, it is what it is. Beggars can't be choosers. Oh, and I see another train coming in. He's coming out. Or excuse me, no, one's coming out. This grain train's coming out and there's another freight coming in. coming out of the yard. Another one's coming in. So we might have a running meet tonight. You know, Murphy's Law is if I dropped this thing, it'd probably land on the train and it'd go all the way to wherever this thing is going. And they probably would not have a single clue as to what the hell hit them. That'd just be my luck, wouldn't it? But anyway, here comes the next train. So yes, my friends, welcome to Roanoke, Virginia. Former home of Norfolk and Western, now the home of Norfolk Southern. Oh, so they're both freight trains, okay. My mistake. That's a mistake on my part then. Okay, this one's got a DPU coming up. First one I caught, it's got a DPU coming up right now. There's gravel in that one. Yep, there he is, remote control D. There we are, remote control DMU, or DPU, excuse me, not DMU, listen to me talk. Old N&W covered hopper there with the hatches open, so I guess they're getting rid of that. Looks like one of these has, I think, cement in it from the top of it. Third car back from the N&W one. Evening. Another N&W. What? Somebody did not do their job right. Those are going to be slapped full of rainwater, and when they get to where they're going, those things have open hatches on the top. I would not want to be the shipper of that. N&W fallen flag there. Not surprising. This is Roanoke after all. They built their own locomotives and cars here. Nice breeze being kicked up from this. funny. That new Amtrak platform can also double as a rail fan platform. They could literally make part of it. They could literally fence in part of it and make it part of like a little rail fan platform. They could actually do it. It wouldn't be hard at all, actually. Depending on how long the Amtrak train is, of course. So there's the end of him. The end of this one's coming out as well. So there he goes. And then the end of this one's coming up pretty soon. And like my old tradition, I'm not going to stop filming until the train is out of sight. It's the least I can do. He must have had to slow down. So there's the end of him. I'm looking at the signals, and he's got a EPIRB on the back there, or an end of train device. He's got an EOT on the end of that sucker, end of train device. As I said in Rails Unlimited, that now replaces what the guys in the caboose would have to do, which is check for problems on the train. That thing gets them automatically and relays that to, I guess, the engineer and conductor. Makes the job easier. Hey?
Train.
You just missed running meet where the two came together.
Oh.
There'll be others, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Y'all been up to the Transportation Museum?
Yeah, not today, but in the past.
Y'all went to Link's Museum, Owenston Link?
Where?
The Link Museum in the old passenger depot over there to the right.
Oh yeah, no, I haven't.
I've been, it's worth seeing.
Oh really?
Yeah,
Check it out.
it's worth it. He got me into photography.
Oh really?
Yeah. Y'all take care. Alright, so there he goes, past the shops. You can see the turntable for him right there. Yeah, you can see the turntable for the shop there. It's a shame. I don't know if they're tearing the place down or what they're doing with it. Be nice if they would keep it, but knowing NS, they probably won't do anything like that. Well, that's their prerogative, so if it's not here in the next 10 years, oh well, blame NS. Either that or the city for not wanting it. I don't know, I guess it all comes down to politics and money, really. That's something I'm not getting into. So, yeah, I will see y'all tomorrow, because I will be back here tenfold. So, this is Railroad Preserver 2000, signing out.